I'm Daniel and it's Ashville Weekly, episode 129. What is going on with this screen, man? Why does it do that, man? Monday afternoon, I'm in the yard, haven't had a chance to film all day, been running around like mad, and I do have a little bit of an announcement to make, what's very good for us, not that exciting for any of you. We basically have sorted out the invoice financing. Yes! Which means that when we invoice people, we can draw down on 85% of the money near immediately, so anyone we have low credit limits with or any cash flow pinches that we might have had, we can now overcome them. I'm also paying them a little bit extra to have all the debt insured now as well, so that is massive for us. Also, the venture I've told you about in the past weeks that we're trying to get over the line, the last heads of terms I sent, they only sent us one amendment, which I made, and then to be proactive, I signed and I scanned and I sent it over to them. So hopefully that's signed by the end of today or tomorrow. I'm about to go into the video office downstairs and try and do a watch through, but it's 4:20 and the guys are leaving at 5, so luckily it's a short video. All the lads are nearly back in the yard, a couple of refueling. Laurie is in the tyre bay and doing some repairs on some punctures so it can go out first thing in the morning. David, what's happening?
Tomorrow, we've got more time.
It's Tuesday and I'm in the car on the way into the yard after training this morning because I have a supplier dinner this evening.
Daniel, my brother, you sleep longer than me.
You don't know what you're talking about. I've been in the gym banging weights. What's happening?
I had a job in Uxbridge. I'm waiting for my lads to get there, see how many loads is there, and I just wanted Terry to cover a couple of loads out of there, and he said he could later on.
No problem. Of course we can help out. My brother Michael, who is older than me.
I was looking at the video, I see your old mate the sticker man. Pulls in, he's got a bottle of Prime in the dash. How old does he think he is? Tell him grow up. I just caught one of my said drivers driving out with a dirty lorry and I've captured him. I don't like dirty motors. Can't have dirty motors out on the road, sorry. It's all sent to try us, my son. It's all sent to try us.
It is. This isn't clear. We need to say we're not doing it. Look, that's what he doesn't want to do. We need to put why we're not doing it, yeah? Refurbishment project, fire.
So 11 o'clock on Monday,
Fine.
he's coming. Find solution the most pleasant for the building.
Good.
And the easiest and the most cost effective.
Good.
So he's suggesting 2 vents, like window vents.
2 vents. I know what he's going to do. He's going to basically make us hardwire the alarm system, have a control unit somewhere with different zones, and he's going to have a fire actuator that I think that in the case of a fire, if 2 of the zones go off or something like that, this fire thing, it will open as like kind of like a smoke vent. But what I don't know is if he's going to make us do something additional to the internal doors, because the last time I had like a smoke vent system, it made all the doors slam, so it had suction.
Yes.
What is the main thing holding back the ceiling?
If we know the sizes, let's say, of this drop area or whatever we're going to build, we put units over here somewhere, and they're going to be access point 400 by 400, 450.
But I thought the ceilings there were high enough that it didn't matter where it went, we could still drop it in,
but
no?
you don't want to clash it. Imagine if if they put air condition here, and you got a drop ceiling, you can't build an access panel.
This is what we're looking at doing though, isn't it, really? With the spotlights around, yeah?
Something like that. We need to decide where it's going to be, like less visible, it's better for everything.
Fine, I'll send these pictures as soon as we finish and I'll get it approved.
Quite worried about this ventilation.
The way it's going to look like is we need to have the ventilation system in, or we can start putting stud wall partitions back down on the ground floor. Those are the 2 ways it looks.
Yeah.
It's not me that's making fire regs, and the fire regs are keeping people safe, so there's not really a lot I can do. It's beginning to come into sort of like the crunch time on the refurbishment project with some decisions. We had put a proposal together for the client to have these kind of drop down sections with LED lights which lit the central area with spotlights going around. But in the last meeting they expressed some concerns and said that they felt like maybe it didn't have a lot of character and they wanted to go with something a little bit more traditional, which is fine, but I've got so much equipment to put in that ceiling, like pipes, air conditioning, waste pipes, water feed, plumbing, electric, and some of the items are quite bulky, like the aircon. I don't want to build bulkheads within the ceiling. I would have hid the aircon units in like the areas which were like dropped down. But if you want a higher ceiling, we need to go back to the drawing board on how we're going to hide these items. But we need to have the aircon units within the rooms, because the size of the aircon units has been calculated on the size of the room and the distance that it has to push the air out from. So it's going to come out of the air conditioning unit into a bespoke duct and then into a linear grill. And moving these aircon units is extremely expensive. So I've sent the client some pictures of what we were going to do and something what we think they may like based on the conversations we last had. Also, a few weeks ago, we were sitting here looking at the electrical plan. Now we're dotting all the electrical points and equipment that's going to go in the property. I need to take those plans and I need to hand them over to an M&E company, because the electrical cables, I need them to be specified. So if you're talking about 100 meters of cable before you can get to the kitchen, this could be the difference between a 4mm and a 6mm flex cable. Forgive me, it might not be that, might not be exactly it. My point is that you may need to change the specification of the cable depending on the distance and where it's running and what it's going to be used for. That's not something we're going to calculate in-house. We're going to get somebody to calculate it for us. We are then going to use those drawings and we're going to work to specification. Right now it's all good. At the end of the job, if it's being finished late, like, it won't be all good, and it's no good bringing up when there was a delay. So we have to get ourselves in gear, and we're gonna have to put a little bit of pressure on the client. Plus, at last, we have a structural engineer who's made a plan for the proposed pool house, but they want to have us do a little bit of excavation around it because they want to expose some areas. Now we need to put a price in for the pool house, because whether the client wants to do the pool house or not, this changes the work we're doing in the external area. So the external area is on hold, because if we are extending the pool house, if the client approves, we then need to go to planning. But as part of the pool, there's a retaining wall which goes at the back, which changes the shape of the garden. We're not going to do that retaining wall to hold back the earth if we're not going to extend the pool house. The time now is 2:20, and we've had a spanner thrown in the works for tomorrow, in that Terry needs to go to court. Now, about a year and a half ago, there was an accident in that the prop was damaged and something came off the lorry and it damaged the car. Now, the insurance paid out, but the third-party insurance company trying to sue our insurance company, saying that it was neglect on our behalf. And our insurance company did an investigation. They saw that the lorry was near brand new. It had full R&M with Scania. The driver checked it in the day. We had the defect checks. We have a fantastic MOT pass rate. And our insurance company said,
no, it's not negligent.
And the insurance companies are fighting between them. So Terry has to go to court as a witness. But we have all the paperwork in place, all the driver training we've done, all the license checks and all the due diligence, and we have done everything we could possibly do. And like the insurance company say, it's like a freak of nature, it's an act of God, and it's never happened before, and there are barely any examples of anything like that happening with a lorry of that age. So Terry's got to go to court, so I need to help and run the lorries tomorrow. So I've had to cancel my meetings in the morning. But we continue to adapt and we move forward. On Sunday, Ashville Weekly episode 126 came out, and I mentioned the Ashville Concrete website. Meds is finished with it, and we don't want Meds to get emotional about people trying to help and telling us issues or things they believe we could improve on the site. Well, I thought to myself, let me go and check how many of you actually went to have a look and see if there's been a spike in traffic. And it appears that on Sunday, when Ashville Weekly came out, 526 of you decided to visit the site. As of yet, we haven't heard anything and we haven't received any emails, so Meds, not that he didn't do a good job anyway, Meds, you always do a good job, don't get emotional and start crying about it. But we haven't had any corrections yet or anyone telling us what's wrong with it. So it appears like he did a good job. Okay. All right, so tell me, instruct me. What am I doing here? What am I moving? What's the first?
Sorry, I can't hear.
What do you want me to do? Instruct me. Yep. Done it. Yep. Do I have to refresh or anything? MUC. Yep. I'm on there. Yep. 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 Driver absent. Yep. Recycled. Type morning dozer. Type 1
and then just check the back arrow, like on the browser.
On the browser. Do you want me to go and change anything on Peter or Ross or anything while I'm here?
No, so when Jules gets in,
yeah,
tell her that Ross's first job was muck, not clean hardcore.
Yeah.
So she needs to call the client and take the payment.
What are you saying? It's better to get Jules to do it because I'm useless. Speak of the devil, and she shall appear. Jules, yeah. Terry said that I'm more than capable, but he said that Ross's first job was meant to be hardcore, but it was muck, and there's an outstanding ticket, but you need to take more money from them. But he did say that I was more than capable, but that he would prefer if you did it. Hashtag just saying. Terry? Sugar. It's Wednesday. I'm in the yard. I'm sitting at Terry's desk. I'm in the office. I'm taking instruction. I don't normally use this system. I ain't used it in a long time, so Terry's giving me instructions on challenges that we had this morning with going to sites and moving jobs around, and a couple drivers didn't turn up. Sitting in Terry's chair is very comfortable, so Terry should be very appreciative of the excellent chair that I put in place. Terry's on the M4 somewhere on his way to Wales to give evidence in court. I can see we have a cement delivery, but unfortunately there was meant to be a train turned up, and the train is not here, and I don't know why. But the GB Rail Freight shunter hasn't turned up, so there must be an explanation, and everyone's in the know except me. Si, do we know why there's no train?
I think it was something at Acton, they said.
Really? Something happened at Acton?
Yeah.
Oh. Well, that's no good, is it?
Hello, this is Terry.
See how Terry turned off his phone trying to duck me?
Number you have called is not recognised.
Nah, imagine this.
Please check the number.
Nah.
If you need help, call the operator on 100 from your mobile.
Terry's cancelled his phone. Nah. There we go.
Hello.
Why is your phone telling me that this number is no longer recognised when I call it? Don't be on no... Brother, you better not have all your bags in the back of that Amarok and you're never coming back.
That's some stranger thing now, yeah?
Yeah, listen, like it's telling me about it, don't know the number. Don't try it, Terry.
They say, oh no, you know the number because you paid a bill.
Yeah, Jules said that job, they paid for a muck away and a hardcore. So what should she do? Because they paid for both. There was 2 muckaways they paid for. What, 2 muckaways and 1 hardcore, Jules? They paid for 2 muckaways and 1 hardcore, tell.
Oh, okay. Well, deassign the hardcore from Ross then.
Deassign the hardcore from Ross, yeah? Oh, Jules, are you doing that, yeah? What are you saying? You're faster than me, yeah? You're better than me at it. Right, no problem. Jules is deassigning the hardcore.
It's his second job. He done a load of type 1 in there.
Yeah?
And then he done the muck out.
Fine. So what should happen now? So someone got to call him and tell him something? Cool.
Whenever Jules put the other muck on, was it for today or for tomorrow?
But the first job is the same job and it's type 1 in, and the second job is now muck.
So why did he tell me then that he's...
No, because Jules just changed it.
Oh, what they want? All right, calm down, man. That's what I said.
What do you mean, calm down? I just said that. He's spraying up.
If there's a ticket there for muck, then muck has been paid for. So Ross just needs to sign that off now.
But he's left the job, obviously.
Yes,
fine.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. Stop crying, man. So what are you doing? You ready to sing like a canary, yeah? Boy, if I could only get that footage from that courtroom, boy. Terry in the dock pointing the finger at someone. This goes towards your holiday. You're not here today, and there's an extra day deducted for the mental trauma that I've had to suffer sitting at your messy desk already.
Don't touch my desk.
Bro, look at this dirty cup. You ain't washed this since the last time I sat here. And why are you flexing with your reggae sauce? All now the bottle stayed the same height. That it's all like you ain't even having this. All now this hot sauce will run your belly for you.
Michael O'Donovan called me.
Oh, did Michael O'Donovan call you already?
He wrote me and he was like, I put the tickets. I've left the tickets on that job.
Yeah, all right, cool. I'm going to call him now.
Daniel, my brother, you look older than me.
I will be older than you. I'm sat at Terry's desk running lorries. Where are these ticket books? What are you doing?
We're not a cowboy organisation like you.
Firstly, we got to step in and we got to save you. And now you're not even leaving us ticket books. It's a good thing Ashville were here to save the day.
On site.
And what are you doing work in my area for anyway?
Sorry. We have already had this conversation, young man. It's not your area. You are only a mushroom haulier that come up overnight. We are a haulier that's been around quite a while. We rule the manor.
Why don't you just give me a pass and I can come and help with the work?
Now, why don't you just keep off my manor?
I've got to make a living.
We've got more money for out of YouTube. You'll have out of tippers. And Terry's on his way to Wales. You must have stuck to the bed this morning. You couldn't answer your phone.
You never called me this morning.
I called you yesterday morning.
I spoke to you yesterday morning. Why are you crying?
Oh, did you?
Oh, here we go.
We've had it right touch for once in our lives. We've actually got a job on our doorstep.
Well, if you want a proper firm to come in there and batter the job in a day and put loads of tippers on it, let me know. If you want to just procrastinate and upset the client and get 2 load out a day.
We can only put 3 or 4 lorries on it because it's that close.
Yeah, I know, but putting 3 or 4 lorries on, getting 3 or 4 load out for the entire day, 1 load each, it's not exactly running the lorries well, is it?
When you are as experienced as me at the tipper job, you come back and we'll have a chat, yeah?
All right.
Right, ring me when you get in trouble for more work, yeah?
All right, thanks.
All right, see you later.
All right,
bye. Hello, this is Terry.
Jules, you see the supplier thing? Basically, Terry checked on the online portal yesterday, and it looks like I'm not saying it is, but it looks like they've been overcharging us for everything. Just keep checking a bit further, because if there's a credit to be had, I wouldn't mind a credit on a Wednesday morning, Jules. It is Wednesday, isn't it? Yes. Wednesday, and we're in the yard. What? December and January, if they're the same rate? I'm not saying there's a problem. I'm saying we just need to check. So? Is there anything that you need me to do, or is there any... when Terry is in the dock singing, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Do you mind if he might divert the phone to you for like an hour or so? But I'm saying if there's a problem with a driver or something, and then I'll handle the system here. And me and Dr. Tunde Okawale are on the road again.
I know you miss me. I'm back. I decided to make the cameos a little less frequent. It's been a great day. We both won our cases.
I lost, bruv.
Oh, I thought you won.
No, well, I lost, but I feel like I won, but I lost. I definitely lost.
Okay, well, I definitely won. I had a trial involving firearms and gang rivalry, and my client was the only one that was acquitted.
Wow, well, so I had to run the lorries all day today, and Terry went all the way there, which left me in the lurch. And the insurance companies were suing each other, nothing to do with us. And the reason I feel we won is because it came out in court that Ashville maintained the lorries properly, and we are a proper operator, and we provided all the information necessary, but we lost. You know why we lost? Because the driver wasn't there. But the driver doesn't work for us no more, and he's on holiday. So how could we ask him to come back from holiday and go all the way to Wales? And we lost. And do you know what the other side were awarded?
£1.
£1,600. I would have just paid it and kept Terry for the day. I would have just paid it had I known. But anyway, Tunde and I are going to an event.
Well, the fee demonstrates you did win then, because that's such a nominal amount.
No, but you don't understand. The insurance company have to pay it. I don't even have to pay it. I don't have to pay anything. I just lost time, which is the most important thing.
This is true. Your time is much more valuable than that, so yeah.
Yeah. So we're at the event. We're outside. We're going to have a little catch up, a little download. We haven't seen each other in a bit, but we talk all the time. And we're going to try to mingle and see if we can make some connections.
Looking forward to it. Let's go.
It's Thursday. I'm on the road again. I'm heading to the yard. This morning I was in Central on Harley Street, to be exact. I kept this one quiet, but a couple of times I was sitting there and I got a couple tight pains in my chest in this general area, and I thought to myself, nah, there's nothing wrong with me. But I did think I thought, let me just check it out. I'm paying all this money for this private healthcare, so let me check it out. So spoke to the doctor, and they said,
listen, from what you're saying, this doesn't sound like you're not getting dizzy. It doesn't happen when you're exercising.
But, you know, all the same, I thought I'd have some tests done. So I had some tests the other day, came back positive, and they said, today, we just want to do some final checks to make sure you're all right. And they connected a load of cables to me, and then they had me on the treadmill. I was feeling like 50 Cent in the club video, running on the treadmill. And they tried to get my heart rate up to 180. And after about 15 minutes and the sweat pouring off me, they couldn't get my heart rate up that high. The incline was at 16, and I don't think it was going as fast as it could, but my heart rate was at like 173, 174. My heart rate kept going down. Apparently I have the resting heart rate of an Olympian. Anyway, all good. I'm happy to report. Very happy to report that. But I thought I would check. So, not to be preachy, if something like that is wrong, like, you cannot ignore it. Like, what's the point in having everything else if you're not going to be here or you don't have your health? Like, health is the most important thing. Like, just because you think you're healthy, it doesn't mean you are. But what they did say was exercise is nearly the cure for everything. Having blood pumping around your body, having your heart beating, because essentially your heart is a muscle. They said exercise, people who exercise are less likely to have conditions with their body. Someone who may have some a slight health problem, a cold after this, is Michael. So Michael's at Andrew Southern's house and he's doing a bit of snagging in the pool and he is siliconing, but there was no way of being on the side and tried to silicone the other way around because you just couldn't get it. You just couldn't get that great finish on it. So Michael's had to strip off and jump in the swimming pool and do the silicone. And I've got to the bottom of what happened with our train yesterday. Apparently the train got to Acton and then the locomotive went AWOL. How does a £3 million locomotive go AWOL? And then the story developed further and the locomotive had to be used to help another set of wagons. So somehow, like, we got thrown under the bus and now we're not going to get our train till Monday, but it will be the same train. So I'm happy to say that we will get our train, but we didn't get one when we wanted it yesterday. But we have plenty of stock in the yard. Anyway, forward and onwards and upwards to the yard. Yeah, you didn't get that, did you?
Yeah, no, I got it.
I'm back in the yard. The time is 3:01. I took a walk down the bottom because I had to have a meeting and have a look at a few bits. We've changed the plan in the basement at the refurbishment project. Remember I told you we're having a bit of a challenge with the fire. Look at this new walkway we've made. So when you come down the stairs, you can do a right and you can go into the games area, or you can go straight on and do a left into the cinema. But what this now means is that if there's a fire in the games room, the people in the cinema can get out and get to this staircase. And if there's a problem here, the people in the games area, they can go out of the outside staircase. So we believe that this solution should work out that we don't have to put a massive sprinkler system and other bits in the basement. If the worst happens and the client really isn't happy with the corridor, I guess on one side of it we can put floor to ceiling glass and we can drop the channel into the floor so it looks nice and seamless. But I'm quite happy with that. I'm trying.
How this relationship started.
Yeah, I'm trying to work this out. So let me get this straight. Yeah. So I'm doing work for you, local to me, to help you out, and
No. Terry was crying. He was bawling his eyes out, and I hate hearing grown men cry.
No, Terry was crying. All right. And what exactly did Terry say when he was crying?
He said, "Michael, please help. We're going down the plug hole." I went, "No problem. Let me have a look." And I come straight back to him with a lovely
And
job.
Terry told you that Ashville's going down the plug hole, and you need to give us work, or we're going skint.
Yeah.
And that's when you gave us the job the other day.
Yeah.
It's got nothing to do with the fact that you couldn't service the job and we're local to it and we smashed it. It's got nothing to do with that.
Or did you ring me and say, "Can you just help me out and cut the loads, take the pressure off us a little bit"? Is that?
Did you not call Terry and say that?
No. Terry rang me. You've got to get this right. Check his phone, and you'll see the first phone call come from Terry to me, and he was crying.
I wanted Terry to cover a couple of loads out of there, and he said he could.
And now that I've got a job on your doorstep and you're doing it for me, you're suggesting that now you're still helping me.
Yeah.
Right, okay, fine.
Because you haven't got diesel to get over this far, have you? Till I pay you for that job. And then you'll have diesel and you'll be able to come over and do it.
Right, okay, fine, right.
You need to write all this down so then you know how to do it next time.
All right, fine. Well, okay.
You've got no one. Can't he do shorthand, Terry?
He's not Tyrannosaurus Rex. He ain't got shorthand.
You know, he's just short in general, isn't he? Now, Daniel, my friend, send me over the address, or send Ryan the address, and please, I'm going for a cup of tea because I'm at a funeral.
Okay, fine. All right, thanks, Michael. So we're covering a job for Michael O'Donovan all week, helping him out round here. And now I said, I'll return the favour. There's a job down your way you can cover. But apparently both ways he's helping us. And Terry called him crying, saying, we're going skint. Can we have some work? Apparently. Oh, man. Speaking of lorries, in South Wales, our 07 plate skip lorry that we sold at auction that got nicked off me for next to no money, it's turned up in South Wales. Someone sent me that picture. Nice. Time is 1:05, it's raining. I'm heading down to the video office to do a watch through of a video quickly. On Tuesday now, and my friend Craig is popping around to begin fitting the air conditioning units at the refurbishment project, but we need to ensure that those are going in the right place. Now I had a conversation with a client, and the client has approved the ceiling layout they're going to have. So we're going to have the recessed ceilings like you've seen in the past with the LED lights lighting the central part. We've just got Sam to send us the drawing of that, the way it's mapped out, because now we can plan where the air conditioning units are going to be. But what's critical is when we do the air conditioning units, we have to put them in a place with enough depth and space, but then we have to put access hatches so they can get to them and service them. Now, we can't have access hatches that are going to pull down like an old loft. We have to have ones which are going to be plasterboard, and then you're just going to see a thin line all the way around. It's unavoidable because you need to access the units. Here's the drawing that Sam has sent, and if you have a look, while it's going to be open plan, each area has some level of separation, so you can see the different areas. These are all going to be on different lighting circuits, and underneath these recesses we have spotlights going through as well. Some areas we will have a chandelier in the middle, like above the dining room table we have 2 lights. Above the island in the kitchen we have a couple of lights as well. So we're getting there with the design. At the moment we haven't done any of the cable runs. We just want the lighting positions and to know how we're going to start to build up and the sort of thickness that we need within this recess area, because that recess area is going to come all the way through to the bottom of the first floor landing. So when you walk in, it's going to look all one, but then when you walk into the area and you look up, you're going to see these areas which are cut out with lights.
Whereas
it's Saturday and I've just left the yard. Yes, I've left the yard. Today in the yard I was working on some pricing documentation with Terry. So we've got one where we work out how we price material, how we price bagged material, how we price the collections, and we were updating the document and we were putting more information in, which is going up onto the cloud, and then that's going to be available for our salesman and our new salesman who's starting in about a week. We were also working on another very important document, which is the new business venture we're going down. We were having a look at what we're paying for stuff and what we're going to charge for it, and we were trying to gauge it against what a lot of other people were charging. And then I just thought to myself, do you know what, at the end of the day, whatever they're charging, I'm not going doing it losing money. So I'm going to price it as competitively as we can, and the rest will be in the service and the offering and people who are already using us and who has an account and who doesn't. That is how we're going to approach it. In the yard, Michael was in because the project he's working on, where he's in a swimming pool siliconing, he couldn't be there today because they had an event on at the house. So we were fitting our 3rd water pump for this year. So the weather's got a little bit better now, so in fitting this new water pump, we now have the original water tank with the pump fully operational, and we have the secondary tank in the railway yard next to the bagging plant that is operational, fully ready to go. Also, Michael was doing a bit of lagging on some of the pipes. The sun is shining, but if you wait till the weather gets cold to do the lagging, everything ends up freezing over. I'm not gonna lie, I have been going like non-stop 7 days a week. I'm talking since I got back from the small break I had. I've tried to train, as some days I couldn't train because I had early meetings, meetings in the morning, meetings in the evening. I'm not gonna lie, I actually feel tired today, man. I'm gonna do, it's Saturday, I'm not gonna train, I'm not gonna do anything. I'm gonna go home, I'm gonna have a shower, I'm gonna order some food, and I'm gonna get on the sofa. Maybe if I feel a bit better later, I'll do a couple emails. I have a flying lesson in the morning. I'm gonna train once again, jump back on and do work. I have voiceover on Monday, but today I feel physically and mentally drained. I've already done a day's work. but I just don't think I can do any. No, I can do some more today. If it was an emergency, I would do it. If it was an emergency, no matter what, I would do it. But let me just sit down for a couple of hours. And that's it for Ashville Weekly, episode 129. Click here for the Ashville website. Click here to subscribe to our channel. Click down here for an Ashville video you may not have seen before. And click down there for last week's episode, which was number 128.